Hello. This is take 4, 5. Fuck knows, can't remember. So where we at? Not done much training. Must apologise for that. Just literally physically haven't had the time. Got back in a bit this week, but definitely not where it needs to be. But my wife has got a huge list of garden shit she wants doing this weekend. So I'm going to be getting plenty of cardio in. Diet wise, yeah, it's ticking over. Rate of loss has slowed down quite significantly. But, you know, I'm sticking to it. It is what it is. I'm a grumpy cunt because of it. I've made no secret many times. I don't like dieting. Is it hard? Nah, not really. Just my motivation to do it is low. And like anything that you don't enjoy or you're not motivated to do, it becomes a chore. So send me cake and cheesecake, please. If you care for David, you will send him cheesecake. Anyway, lots of it. On another note, my elbow that I damaged in the car crash back in December has been giving me some shit. So, actually feels a bit better this week, but I am booked in to get a referral to get it looked at. Otherwise, on the sort of personal training side of things, it's pretty much just Groundhog Day. Same shit, different day. On other notes, what's going on? BodyPower. I can't remember what I've told you, and I'm too lazy to watch my old videos, so I may repeat myself. But I am doing 5 talks at BodyPower. So I'm talking on what was Bodybuilding Evolution, which is now known as the Underground, on the Friday. I don't know what time. Not talking on there on the Saturday because they have a star-studded lineup, including the French guy Asti, who's a bit of a monster. I believe Luke Sandow, Josh Mallet, Danilin Bailey. So it really is going to be one hell of a lineup on there on a Saturday. And then I'm again talking there on a Sunday. So we'll probably do a Q&A one day and a training overview on the other day. And then I'm doing 3 talks in the lab, which is a new area and has been very well opened up this year. Now, let me just fire up the email with the schedule on from yesterday. Where's it gone? Right. So, there's Friday, Saturday and Sunday. I'm talking each day. And it's a fair mix. So there's Richard Foster from Strom going to do some stuff on supplements and ingredient profiles. There's a guy called Dr. Hamid Kamal who works with Medichecks, who's harm reduction based on the impact of steroid use. There's Dr. Dean St. Martin who works with JP and supplement needs. No idea what he's talking about, to be fair. And there's a Dr. Robert Stephens who comes from a TRT clinic thing. And pretty much all these people are talking every day, and myself. So, and on the Saturday, the Gorilla Chemist is doing one at 10 o'clock, and at 4 o'clock there's going to be a round table, which is pretty much going to be open, I think, to everyone who's spoken. So one day I'm going to do endocrine system, basically how it works in a male and female, and what the impact of taking steroids has on that, what PCT does, because it's amazing how many people don't understand what the actual drugs we use in PT we use for, and how many think Novodex is in there for estrogen control and all this sort of stupid shit. And then we'll also possibly touch on Blast Cruise options. Again, it's PCT and time off. And then on another one, I'm going to do impact in the brain. That's going to be a real pig of a complex one. I may have bitten off more than I can chew in creating a presentation that I can put across in an understandable way. but I'll do my best. And then the last one, I was going to sort of look at drug profiles. Now, so I don't know what order I'm doing these in yet. And I was going to do something along the lines of this compound, these are its side effects, this is potential management of these side effects. Not sure yet. But that's it. So that's the lab. Now, out of that, it would appear... Oh, and Tom Blackman, sorry, on the Sunday. I'm presuming Tom's doing a nutrition-based thing. I haven't spoke to him, so I don't know for certain. But I would assume he's doing some talk about diet, nutrition. So, the vast majority of that looks to be steroid-based. Which is a big step forward for BodyPower. And I'm quite impressed that they've done it. It's well overdue if you ask me, but also that makes me quite nervous, because now I'm paranoid I'll fuck it up. So I've definitely got my work set out. I've started building the first presentation. I've not, as usual, opted for the easy one first, the PCT one. But I want to cover male and female PCT. I'm not sure how far I'm going to go down the advice route with things, simply because of there's no control over who's in the audience, and I don't want to be in a situation where somebody feels it's use is promotion, because that will just shut the door, and then we will have problems trying to get this education across in subsequent body powers. So I had even looked at possibly doing social drivers, and user groups and that sort of thing, but I don't think it's going to be that appealing to the masses. I don't know, might do social drivers, user groups and mental health. The 45-minute talks with 15 minutes Q&A at the end of each one. We'll see. I'll see how I'm doing for time. But that's what's happening there. So that's good. I believe Brutal Muscle are going to video the talks, or at least video my talks, and they will become content on the site as well. So for those that aren't attending BodyPower, you can get access to them that way. Getting nowhere with the Iceland thing, which is pissing me off. I don't know if I told you this. I've been trying to open lines of communication with the health minister in Iceland, and I would have thought with Thor's recent admissions, which has caused huge stirs over there, that that would have triggered a response, but apparently not. Ridiculously though, that interview was 2 years old, but it's only just been released. I'm not sure why they've taken the time to release it. I've just remembered something. I know this is terrible, isn't it? I'm recording a thing and I'm typing away on my computer. But it'll be interesting. I mean, the level of education over there, shit, absolutely diabolical. I was shocked for an island that has such a strong, almost glorious history in power sports, that their drug knowledge was so poor, but their training ethic is good, and well, you know where I stand on things like that. I am seriously thinking of coming off social media. It is doing my fucking tits in at the moment, and I don't know if it's me, which it probably is, because I'm a ratty bastard, because I need cake, send cake. Or did I say send cake? But the level of bollocks, particularly on Facebook currently, but even on Instagram, and some of the stuff that even reputable people are putting out, and I'm just sat there shaking my head. Some of it's just blatant, guised up as being advice, but all it is blatant advertisements or blatant excuses for something they've done wrong, sort of thing. How do I put this without getting too detailed? Saw one recently about somebody commenting about aspects of certain steroids, and basically what they were doing was making excuses for shit gear. And then I saw another one about a pre-workout that was clinically dosed. I've never heard of a pre-workout being used in a clinical setting. So how can a pre-workout be clinically dosed? It's bullshit. Absolute bollocks. But it just seems to be getting worse. Maybe I'm noticing it more. And obviously show season, so we've got all the smoke blowing. Oh, you look fantastic. No, you didn't. You look fucking shit. Oh, you were shredded. No, you weren't. You were fat. And all that usual bollocks going on. Oh, well, I didn't place. And to be fair, not so much of the politics shout or stuff like that. More, okay, oh, maybe I didn't suit the class criteria. No, you just weren't good enough. Stuff like that going on. The usual crap. But it just seems to be, I don't know, more than ever. The quality of content on Facebook at times in certain pages has been quite high. And quite impressed. But there seems to be a new wave of misinformation or people with ulterior motivations pushing incorrect or poor advice out there at the moment. Now it may be the best advice to their knowledge, which if that's the case, then you can't really criticise that person. They're sharing what knowledge they have, and that's potentially a positive thing. But the way some of them put it about, and I doubt it, to be honest. A lot of it just seemed to be clickbait, and look how important I am, please get involved with me because I have a business. Now, I have a business. I have a business in harm reduction. I have a business in coaching, and obviously I have a corporate side of my business where I work with professional bodies, police, ambulance, fire, some medical professions, some medical companies, and various other aspects, which is where the bulk of my income comes from, to be fair, and it's the area I want to develop, because it's the one with the greater return for the least amount of work, so it makes sense to develop that. But part of the reason I do that, whether you believe this or not is entirely up to you, is because it allows me to still offer free services to people who have problems. And that seems to be a growing number, and that old Facebook Messenger swing door seems to be spinning continuously just lately. And that's the bit I'm passionate about. That's the bit I think that's why Facebook riles me so much, because when I see somebody giving out poor advice that is potentially harmful, then it irritates me, because ultimately someone like myself ends up picking up the can at the end of all that in trying to sort this person out who's now in a mess. But also the level of denial out there, the number of people I get with steroid related issues, and when you suggest that they stop using those steroids so that these issues can be dealt with, that just, their mind explodes. And they just cannot face life without these drugs. But they're not addicted. But they don't have an issue. And I mean, I've been there, I've been through it. I understand that process of getting used to not being big anymore, not being strong anymore, and how difficult that can be. And it is a drug withdrawal, and it can take some time, and it can really impact your self-confidence, and definitely cause issues with depression or depressive-like periods. I think people are very, very quick to claim depression these days as well. It seems to be a trendy thing. You know, sometimes life's just fucking shit. Deal with it. But yeah, the amount of any, I even to the point where I've spoke to people and I said, right, these drugs have an impact in that area. They are damaging that area of your brain. They are damaging that area of your body. And though that medication will help with the symptoms, if you continue to use the drugs, you will continue to damage that area. And it's like, okay, they completely accept that what they're doing is causing the damage, but stopping using still isn't an option to them. And this is getting more and more common. And it's scary, to be honest, because people don't view this as addiction. I mean, there's always been a thing where steroid users never really viewed themselves as being drug users, you know, yet they inject drugs. Probably the most extreme version of drug use is to inject a drug. But they were always better than heroin addicts, better than any other drug user, because they were health conscious. But even now, when you're starting to present to people evidence that their drug use is now becoming harmful and they need to make some changes, they will not face the steroid usage issue. They will, you know, oh, okay, well, I'll do cardio, I'll lower my blood pressure by taking Ramapil, I'll do this, I'll do that. Yeah, but you could also stop using. No. Can't do that. And there's going to be a lot of people in 5-10 years, well, even less now, because I'm already starting to see these changes in people, that their quality of life is severely diminished because they haven't known when to stop and when to walk away or when to lower the dose. And it is a difficult process. And I don't make light of stopping using, and I think people underestimate how powerfully addictive, I don't think there's a better word for it, to be honest. Whatever the mechanism is at play, be it psychological dependency, chemical dependency within the brain, hormonal dependency within the testes, or a physical withdrawal element, addiction is the easiest all-encompassing word to cover it. You know, I don't think people really consider addiction with steroid use, and as a result of that, they just don't consider that an opportunity or a case for them. And it's really interesting watching people's reactions when you propose the question of not using or stopping using. They avoid it massively. But what if I just do this? But what if I just do that? Or I could, and there's always someone else online that will support their alternative route because they're actually supporting their own choice to continue to use in the sight of problematic use. It's mad, absolutely mad. But it's the world we live in, and unfortunately, it's not going to get any better. And as a result, we will see changes in how steroid use is approached in the coming years. I'm not sure to what extent. I don't see a law change. It's not impossible. It would be a very stupid move if they did. But enough public outcry, enough mums and dads sobbing their heart because the son's not functioning correctly anymore, and it has great potential. But I do see big changes in the way steroids are dealt with within the medical health service and across the board. I'm seeing sentences go up in court for supply. That's definitely on the increase. And there is an increased interest from the police in steroid supply. UK Anti-Doping and UK Border Force have for a very long time had a large amount of addresses associated with the use of importation of raws. There now appears to be a task force from the police that is starting to look at these addresses So they are definitely taking this matter more seriously from a law enforcement point of view, and that usually means the pressure coming from on high, for whatever reason. So it'll be interesting to see how that pans out. Right, but on other notes, if you're going to BodyPower, I'll see you there. I have very mixed feelings about BodyPower this year. Last year I went not wanting to go because I didn't think I'd like it, as I hadn't liked it the previous years, and I actually enjoyed it, but that was down to company. I'm not sure how I feel about it now, but I do like the fact that there is now a platform for harm reduction, and we are finally talking about the elephant in the room. So bold move I feel for them, and hopefully a positive move that's going to yield positive results. Still a shitly self-organised setup though. Fuck me, it's ridiculous. But we'll see what happens. So take care guys, and I'll speak to you soon.